train. To your left, you'll see Jason out there is achieving a self-improvement as we speak, and
wow, great job, Jason.
Everybody applauds.
Everybody learn from. See, Jason's really learning something about himself here, and that's why his numbers going down. Wow.
Yeah,
we love to see that.
Everybody give Jason a hand here. Yeah, well, yeah, good job. Oh God, Jason.
No, Jason, you improved so much. Oh, sorry, Jason just died. Oh God.
Oh Jesus. Oh.
Yeah, that's getting everywhere. Oh no.
That's not good.
Yeah, try not to breathe any of him in by accident.
Oh no. Oh my. Jeez.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that, folks.
Sorry about that. That usually doesn't happen.
That usually doesn't happen
while people are watching.
Yeah, usually, damn.
Sorry about that.
Here's another one. All right.
Welcome aboard this.
All aboard
this podcast about the new season of Infinity Train. God damn.
Yeah. Book, Trace.
Yeah, book 3.
Yeah, big number 3. The trilogy.
Because we might not get any more.
Yeah, we might not get any more, so, cross your fingers, boys.
Everyone cross your fingers and go subscribe to HBO Max, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I think we both pretty much enjoyed this season.
Oh, yes. It was pretty damn good, I gotta say.
That was
They keep getting more efficient.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I definitely, you get sucked in pretty quick, and it feels like the episodes go by. There's a point when I'm watching the season where it's just like, I'm watching the, one after another, and it feels like they're ending very fast, just because they're like 10 minutes long or whatever.
Yeah.
But, it's just because it feels like, so much stuff is happening. It's like,
yeah,
wow,
just
it's we're already.
It's so tight. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculously tight.
This is like, I guess one of the main things I want to talk about is just, that's what makes this show so good.
Yeah.
Is that there's only 10 episodes.
There's exactly 100 minutes of footage that they got here.
They don't have any time to waste.
Yeah. They can't spare even a moment.
If they do, then something's not getting done.
Something's getting messed up. Which, in previous seasons, we've had our criticisms.
Yeah,
maybe things that could have been done better, maybe.
Yeah, things that could have been a little bit tighter, but, like, in this season, I can't, think of an episode that could have been...
Exactly, yeah, I was about to say. This season...
It was almost too short.
It was almost, yeah.
This one could have... It was the first one I was like, oh, that could have used an extra episode.
Yeah, there was, they could have used the other seasons, there was always at least one episode... I seem to remember that seemed like it could have been, I don't know, like if not removed, because they would lose something, because it wasn't complete. It wasn't like a completely worthless episode or anything, but it was just like some of it that's like, or the most of it felt like flab.
Yeah,
it would be like one or two.
There was like one. I remember there was like one episode in season 1 that felt like that.
I don't even remember at this point. But...
I've rewatched it all recently. And then there was one episode in season 2 that sort of felt like that. But, like, even still, it's incredible that these seasons are get as much done as they do in 10 episodes.
It's like when you compare it to, like, any other show, it's, like, ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like, even, like, most anime
that
I will watch... It's so concise compared to that. It's so good.
I mean, yeah, it's just like the incentives are completely different.
And we're talking like, anime is like...
Yeah.
I put it sort of like on a different level to American cartoons because oftentimes they're not sort of... It's not very equal, It's not...
No, yeah, it's just like...
Animation is treated very differently over here, but I think Infinity Train Season 3 is a good step in the direction that we want American animation to take in being more respected as a medium for adults. Yeah. Like, you got, like, Rick and Morty, I guess, but that's like a comedy as well.
It's like pure comedy.
Yeah. So this is, like, getting, like, into some actual
Yeah, like, it's
horror
like
and trauma.
Yeah, exactly. Like some real psychological.
Yeah.
Like deep psychological.
Yeah, and like I said, that's like a problem I had with a lot of anime. Is just like get to the point. Yeah. Infinity Train gets to the point.
No, yeah.
They don't have time to waste. I mean, I'm not talking about all anime, obviously.
No, yeah, but
just
I can certainly attest to the fact that there's a lot of fattening that goes on in anime because they have to fill out 23 minutes full of footage. Well, I guess. Well, it's about 20, but because you count the ending and the opening, but it's like they have to stretch it out and take the long way around just so they can.
I heard the train in the distance.
Oh, hey, look!
I wonder if that showed up on the recording.
Oh, I hope so.
That'd be great.
That'd be very thematically relevant.
Yeah.
But they've just gotta stall for time, basically. Like they need to be using every frame of animation as many times as they can use it.
Yeah, and it's just crazy, like. Looking at like how much they do in like one scene of show and how much they have to like get done in so little time because they just don't have any time, and it just makes it kind of amazing. Like there was one bit where like Jesse, and it was in season 2 with Jesse and MT,
of course.
And they meet the Apex and they're doing that whole thing, and like basically they're just explaining what's going to happen next in the story. Is like, we're gonna go over here, you're gonna stay in here and do this. But, like, even while that's happening, like, you can see, like, little details that things are changing, like, from frame to frame, like, you see Jesse's number, like, going up as he's, like, sort of becoming, like, sort of trying to, like, appease the Apex, sort of.
Interesting.
And there's so many things happening in this tiny scene that, like, you would barely even notice. And that's another great thing. The show, like, cares about people who are, like, paying attention.
Exactly.
It's catered to people who are paying very close attention to everything that's happening. Yeah. All right, we need to start talking about the actual
what
season,
happens.
because
it's good.
It's so good. This time we get not Jesse. Grace and Simon, leaders of the Apex, as seen in season 2.
Yeah, very, very nice, by the way, keeping with the theme of the new protagonist or whatever being, like, foreshadowed or be included in the previous part. So, like, in book 1, you had MT was introduced in there, and she was the protagonist of book 2, and now the Apex are. I like the consistency there.
Yeah, and obviously the protagonist of book 4 is going to be Randal.
Yes, of course, Randal. Randal finally will get his number to 0 and finally be part of the real world, like he's always meant to be.
But Grace and Simon, they're assholes.
What if he tried to wheel Randal?
It would be impossible.
He'd be like, "Oh, thanks."
He's indestructible.
He's
God.
Yeah.
He's the god of the train.
He is the god. He's the real conductor, honestly. Who do you think runs the steam engines, huh? It's Randal, boys.
Randal. But Simon and Grace, they're a bunch of
bad
assholes.
People. Just
Which,
not good.
I guess is sort of carrying on the sort of tradition of, none of the passengers we follow, none of the characters are like super flawless characters in any way.
Obviously.
They're like always...
That's why they're on the train.
Yeah, Tulip, she's great. She has a bit, but it's like, obviously at the beginning she has a bit of an ego problem.
Yeah, she's but it's not necessarily unreasonable, I would say.
Yeah, but
especially when you're a child.
Yeah, but I do think they've taken it another step with Simon and Grace, who are just assholes.
Yeah, so Simon and Grace are the first ones who are actually morally repugnant people.
Yeah, they're
just bad.
They're just bad. They're just being total dicks.
Yep.
And to the extent where Simon is literally just the most insecure human being on Earth, as we'll get into, and also he's just like a jerk too. On top of that,
he's also just not very nice to anybody.
And then you got Grace, who's sort of even worse almost, just because she's like sort of fake nice to everybody.
Yeah, she does the fake.
She's got this sort of facade put on, and that's the sort of thing that she pays for over the course of the show dearly in many tragic ways.
Yeah, it's an interesting setup.
It's a great setup.
The main characters be such bad people.
To be such horrible people.
It's good to know that like the train is at least acting as some sort of like, I don't know, cosmic jail for some bad people. Like, I mean, if they're stuck on the train forever, I mean, hey, we don't have to deal with them.
Cosmic jail. No, it's all about self-improvement.
Yeah, well, yeah, but some people are gonna get wheeled, alright?
I mean, that's true.
And some people are like I mean, if the train is infinite, which I'll assume it is.
Based on the title.
There's probably some people who are just like, you know, getting there. There's probably more people who are like trying to get the high score on the number.
That's a good thing.
Because nobody's really tells them.
Well, yeah, 1-1 does.
Well, he does now.
He does now.
Not
with his little train documentary.
with his little train. Yes.
We didn't see 1-1 this season, but he was mentioned several times.
Yeah, he made his presence.
He made his presence felt.
He
despite
did stuff,
not appearing.
despite never appearing himself.
I mean,
except in.
Indirectly did stuff, I guess.
Well,
yeah,
and also on clothing.
Yeah, he made his appearance on clothing. But anyway, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to
for
that.
now,
Just
Simon and Grace.
Suffice to say, 1-1 makes for I don't know, fashionable attire.
Indeed, but yeah, he shows Simon and Grace. They're the leaders of a group of children who are trying to get the highest numbers on the train.
So.
And worship the Amelia,
Yeah, they
was the conductor for a while.
Yeah, and you know, you learn a lot about the Apex in the scenes that you see, especially from Simon. Like you see like stuff like them like quoting like some sort of guidebook.
Yeah, which
I very much appreciate. They never felt the need to like actually like show that thing or anything. They just mentioned it.
I just mentioned that there's a book that Simon wrote.
Yeah, so there's like
have some rules.
Yeah, you learn exactly like you learn that they have like this code of rules, but it was just written by Simon. It's not like it was. It's not like they got it from anywhere, and it's but they quote it like religiously, basically. Like
yeah, it's pretty funny.
It's pretty funny. The fact that they're all children and that they're doing this weird Peter Pan thing.
Yeah,
is like. We've seen adults, and we know that adults are on the train. You know, well, I don't know. Have we seen any adults on the train in the actual show? I know they're in the like, yeah. There's like the old ladies, like MT.
Yeah, we've seen a few.
Yeah,
we've seen like a few, like just never.
Yeah,
like at the
I think I saw them in like the YouTube videos or whatever.
Yeah, there's like in like the part where like they're going through all like the little in season 2 when. They're exploring that little area, the tape area. Yeah. There's some adults in there.
So we know adults are on the train, but they avoid adults. Because, you know, because only children would buy this stuff. And only children are scared enough to, you know, be intimidated, basically, into being part of the gang.
Be intimidated and also sort of be enticed by their little...
more enticed than intimidated. That was kind of the wrong word.
They all seem like they're happy to be there, despite...
Exactly. They're all pretty enthusiastic. They pretty much get to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And also get to burn stuff.
And also get to set things on fire, which we all know all children secretly want to do.
Yeah.
So they get that done. And yeah, it's interesting to see, like, sort of... But mostly, it's interesting just because of sort of Grace and Simon's like interactions at the top of it, sort of.
Yeah.
And seeing how they sort of keep this little club together, and it gives us a very interesting start when you go back and watch it from the beginning. It gives everything that happens a very interesting sort of starting point for how things change over time, because things do change. What they think is 1-1 has begun messing with them and starts shifting cars around to fuck them up, basically.
Just like brute force destroy these people.
Yeah. Just scatter them across the infinity train.
But the switching of the rail cars actually raises an interesting point, because the turtles got pretty messed up by that train moving.
That's a bummer.
That's a bummer. But does that happen to every train car that moves? Is everything in there just completely screwed?
I mean, possibly.
that kind of sucks.
But
I guess maybe it's like uncommon for them to have to pull them.
Yeah, true.
Like they only pull them if something's wrong.
And also, the turtle car was like a specific case.
Yeah, the turtle car was
and maybe it's like internal gravity hadn't been sealed.
Yeah, that's true. It's possible.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past the show to have like a very detailed reasoning for why it happened to the turtle car and no other car. Yeah. This is the one show where we'd be like, oh, that could be the case. The turtle car. The turtle college car. I mean, I can't have been the only one who was like, let's raid one more car. And then they like show the turtle car and they're like, no!
Yeah. So
not the turtle!
It's very nicely set up because it's right after we start out with the the car we don't know anything about, the theater car. Yeah. And then we see exactly what they're gonna do, and then they just show you the shot of the turtle place. We're just like, wait, no, not the turtle place. I like the turtles. It's just like,
and then they
don't deserve this.
And they go beat up the turtle.
and they go in there and they just start beating and robbing all the turtles for everything they're worth.
Yep.
Which probably isn't much because they're turtles.
No, not much.
I don't know, like, these raids, like, do they get anything?
I mean, obviously they do, because Simon must have gotten those sick boots from somewhere.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, I guess sometimes they find stuff valuable, sometimes they find less. But,
who knows? Because who knows what they'll find.
I mean, and they're also doing it to, like, just get their numbers up, I guess.
True, yeah. They gotta get those numbers up.
Yeah. You'd think you'd learn after doing, like, immoral things that your number goes up.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no. That's what they bought into.
That's what they bought into.
And they're literal children.
That they are.
But anyway, things go wrong. The train suddenly starts shifting.
Yeah, they shift the train.
And basically, Simon and Grace get separated from their little children's squad.
Yeah, everybody else escapes, but they're stuck on. But Grace and Simon are stuck on the train car as it shifts.
Yeah, and they jump off, but they're way far away because it only takes 2 seconds to get like 40 million cars away.
Exactly. That's moving at like Mach 10.
It's ridiculous. And then so it's like, all right, we're on our own. Time to go on a little adventure to get back to where we came from. And hope no self-improvement happens along the way.
We're never gonna self-improve no matter what.
Yeah. And this is where we meet Tuba and Hazel, who are great.
Yep, Tuba and Hazel. What a great combo.
And I think one of my favorite things about sort of Tuba and Hazel and their, like, what they bring in sort of really interests me in a lot of ways. Just because, like, the show is really... I don't know if it was the same for you. Obviously, it was different for you because, like, you watched it all at once, basically.
Yeah.
And I had to, like, wait a week between the last 2 episodes.
Fool.
That was foolish of me, I know. That was infuriating. But I had a lot of time in between the episodes to think about what's going to happen next.
Exactly.
And I was always wrong. I was always dead wrong. Because, like, the first time you meet Hazel, I mean, she's got her thing with, like, her number.
I actually guessed that right.
You guessed Hazel right?
Yeah, I guessed Hazel right.
That's impressive. Because I thought it was going to be something... Because, you know, when you first... Sorry,
well,
when you first...
not specifically, but I figured that... spoiler alert, by the way. Hazel's not a real passenger.
Hazel's not a real passenger.
I figured she was really a null.
And so, when I first saw that, I thought, oh, that's interesting. I wonder if, like... And then, like, they make a lot of references to, like, she doesn't really know who she is or what's going on. So I thought maybe, okay, what if this is, like, another sort of, like, error on the train, basically, where she's lost her memory, and therefore, somewhat, her problem is gone.
Yeah.
However, in another way, it hasn't really been solved, so the number deactivates.
Yeah.
And I thought it might be something to do with that. That was my first impression.
Well, yeah, when my first impression, as soon as I saw those two, was, like, well, you know, we have been thinking, like, so they've got to go on the trip now. They've got to go on the road trip, which means they're going to self-improve, because that's what the train does. That's the whole point of it. But...
Well, one of them does.
Okay, so how are they gonna learn to empathize with the Knowles. I wonder how. How about if they were tricked into empathizing with...
See,
that was my first thought.
That's exactly what I started to think after it was revealed that Hazel was, like, a turtle.
Oh, yeah.
Jumping ahead 5 episodes to episode 5, after the tragic death of Harambe.
Rip in pieces. Rip in literal pieces.
Oh my god.
Just rip.
Simon, you bastard.
Yeah, just like an absolute bastard. Jeez.
Jesus Christ. But anyway, after
Son of a bitch.
After it was revealed that Hazel was a turtle.
Yes.
That's when I thought, oh my god, was this whole thing like a devious plot by 1-1 to like
that was what I was
separate the leaders at the apex and self-improve. That's I suddenly thought that was what happened, and because you see 1-1 as like, because season 1-1-1 you see him as a very like he's just a happy robot, but like in season 2 in season 2 we see the more sort of he is a machine. He doesn't have morals.
No, not at all.
Not really.
He does what his programming tells him to. And the only reason he was so wacky before is because he was like disconnected from where he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
So he didn't know. So it was probably he didn't really know what to do.
Also, I have another theory about that we'll get to.
Oh yeah, we can get into that.
But talking about Hazel, I thought like, all right, he would have no moral compunction with sort of like just fooling these kids into thinking. Like, I thought he, like, invented Hazel and Tuba specifically to,
would be devious,
manipulate Simon and Grace. And in one case, it worked perfectly, and the other, not so much.
Yeah, jeez.
But, no, we, like, that's what I said. Every time I think I might know what's going on in the show, I'm absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
Because it is later revealed that is not at all the case.
That was the only major thing that I actually like predicted pretty well. Yeah, I think
you knew that she was a. Did you know she was going to turn into a turtle?
No,
though?
I did not predict that at all. Oh my goodness, that was a little bit weird. But we'll get into that. But I just thought that would be the most effective way. But what the debate mine went was it intentional, or is it just like the magic of the train or whatever? Yeah. And that it was just like it has like the power of coincidence.
But then later we learned that it was in fact a coincidence.
Yeah, it was a coincidence, which I think I like better. Which it would be kind of cool.
To find out that 1-1 was just like manipulating them.
Had like genetically engineered these two beings, and like maybe they hadn't even existed like the day before.
Yeah, and they were like only there to like
that would actually be super dark.
That would be super messed up
because like they have the whole scene where she's crying over her.
I know.
Like, this is a song that she made up.
I know.
And it's just like
that would have been
brutal.
Yeah, but like I said, I was willing to believe it because 1-1 was sort of like he's a robot.
That is believable.
He doesn't like care.
Yeah,
that much.
I do think it's beneficial to the story that it could have been true.
Yeah,
I think it's good that it really wasn't, because that would be really, really dark.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting thing though, because like I've recently listened to like a podcast with like the creators.
Oh, really?
Some of the creators on it, and it was really interesting. And one of the things they talked about was how like there was sort of disagreements in the writers' room about like the motivations of certain characters.
Oh, really?
And I find that like
interesting.
Specifically, like they talked about how at the end of season 2, 1-1, like deciding to let MT off the train with Jesse, and some people say, some of the writers are like, no, he's just a machine who is finding a way out of this loophole in order to like get things back on track. And some of the writers are like, oh, he really wanted to help his friend.
Okay.
And so, like, there's sort of like a divide in the room about these things, which is interesting to me. Because, like, that's also, like, the question that you have to ask watching the show.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's interesting that the writers are literally divided on the issue.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, I like that. But anyway, that was a fun podcast.
Maybe I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. Anyway, the writer's room, I think it's called. No,
the writer's room,
something like that. With someone, you'll find it.
What? I just look like an Infinity Train podcast or something.
Yeah, like
podcast.
Use the internet.
Yeah,
it has...
podcast Infinity Train makers.
Then you'll find us.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think we will. But
that's what's going to happen. It's going to be us.
Anyway,
We're the only people who make podcasts about cartoons. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, nobody else would even think to do this.
This is ridiculous when you think about it.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Insanity, basically.
Getting back on track. Slowly over time, we see Grace and Hazel's relationship sort of forming. And, at first it's very much like how Grace interacts with all the other kids on the train, which is to sort of give them this sort of mock, praise and try to basically being the person driving around the candy van, the white van, saying, "Hey kids, would you like some candy? Just hopping back." That's what she's doing.
Yeah, more or less. Pretty bad. I mean, but she's apparently pretty good at it because she managed to do it despite Simon just absolutely destroying any chance of anybody wanting to be anywhere near any of them.
Yeah, he's got the mass of pretension has reached critical density.
In
terms of Simon, and he's lost all sense of self-awareness.
I almost could call it a flaw that Simon is just so bad at this because it cast doubt on whether they would be able to have this many kids.
Well, yeah.
Wouldn't Simon have scared them all away?
Well,
at this point?
That's the thing that's interesting because obviously you have Grace, who is also very pretentious.
No, yeah,
but she is more. She's very self-aware and knows what it looks like on the outside, and is able to sort of present a different face that attracts the children. Obviously, that Pied Pipers the children into the little gang, and that's sort of how that. And we see how that sort of functions because, if you're a kid on the train, you meet this nice quote unquote person who's very, very kind to you and tells you all about this cool club you can be in, then that most kids would definitely jump in for that.
Yeah. It's it's a pretty easy sell. It's just that Simon does his best to not sell it. Even when he thinks that you're a human. He doesn't. He's not nice to you. He's just like, get over here, kid. Okay.
Join the club now. Yeah, like I said,
a bad person.
Simon, insecure, very pretentious, not very self-aware.
No, and it's like the ironic part is that if Simon was ever the leader, the band wouldn't last long at all because nobody would actually want to be.
It would probably fall apart if it was just Simon.
Because the whole group is basically held together by Grace's fake charisma.
Yeah,
that only would ever work on children.
Exactly, children, and also Simon because he was a child when they met.
Exactly. Well, Simon's kind of in on it, so
true. So yeah. We meet these two characters, Harambe and Hazel. Yeah. I mean, Tuba and Hazel. And, oh my god, I can't believe they killed Tuba.
Yeah. And,
those monsters.
After going through some rooms, and after solving an especially terrible, a hugely complex color puzzle. It was a devastatingly difficult puzzle that they had to solve there. Mm-hmm. I don't know how they did it.
I don't know how.
They only through teamwork, as Mr. Color Wheel said.
God damn it! What did he say his name was?
I don't remember.
He said something. I'm
Roy, and I'm
Roy,
your boy.
and I'm your boy. Yeah, that's what he said. Roy the color clock.
Yep. Roy is in Roy G. Biv, perhaps.
Ooh. I'm glad you picked up on that. It's very important to the show.
I mean, if you don't pick up on these details, you're not really qualified to watch him.
Roy.
Oh, what a great guy.
My name's Roy, and I'm your boy. Anyway, yeah. After that, train starts shifting again. It's a big problem.
They're separated.
Grace
and Simon are
separated. And then the moment Simon says, "You guys go ahead, I'll go back," I'm like, "Oh no."
Oh no.
He's gonna try something.
But it is to the show's absolute credit, because that to the moment I was just expecting him to leave her on the other side of the train.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Away.
Until the very last moment, that's exactly what I expected to happen. He would fake I mean, it was confusing when he started shooting things, because I assumed he would just, like, close the door and then just wait and then go back. But then I was like, oh, maybe he's doing, like, a fake rescue or something. And then he goes up and he's like, he's standing over her, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is a little Mufasa-y. And then he's
it's like, trust. What's it say? Like, teamwork starts with two people trusting each other. It's like, oh no! And then he murders Tuba.
And then Tuba is destroyed.
And shout outs real quick to the voice actress for Hazel, who is obviously very young and does a pretty good job considering.
Yeah, I would say so.
What isn't perfect at all. There's a few points where I'm like, okay, that could have been better, but literal child, well done.
Good work.
Like, better than most child actors.
Better than, jeez.
So, and she does a good job, like, being upset that her mom died.
Yeah, that's good.
And it's so messed up, man. I can't believe they killed Tuba.
Yeah. It's brutal.
I like Tuba.
I like Tuba too. She was nice.
We all like Tuba.
Yeah, but then Simon, with his usual candor, comes in and immediately announces that he has completely murdered Tuba. For no reason he says this. Even though he could have easily said that she was just left on the train. But instead, he boldly proclaims that he is indeed the murderer. Just
he's, like I said, he's just so tone deaf and unself-aware that he doesn't realize what he's presenting to the world.
Yep.
And what he's presenting is a cold-blooded murderer.
Exactly. And it's like...
He is a sociopath.
And it's like, and you can even see it when, what Grace says, like, can't you think about how you felt when you lost the cat?
Yeah.
And it's just like, that doesn't apparently faze him at
No,
all.
he's
He's just like, it's just different somehow.
We completely skipped over the bit where they meet the cat.
Yeah, we did skip that.
And that's pretty important.
That's the best episode because it has Randal in it.
Best episode because it has Randal in it, yeah. And also that bear.
And also the bear.
I really like the bear with the sunglasses.
What is his name? Like, Frank?
Yeah, I think it was Frank.
Yeah.
It's like, leave us alone, Frank.
It's like, not now, Frank.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
It's like, oh...
Frank. I said Randall's going to be the main character of season 4.
It's actually...
It's going to be Randal and Frank.
Yeah, well, they're going to be traveling together, obviously. Exactly. So they can finally go to the real world and live out their days. Frank just can't wait to hit the big city, get off the train finally.
Oh, man. That's a show we need. Yeah. Anyway, season 4, guys. We got to make it happen.
Yeah, we got to make it happen.
But anyway... we learn all about sort of Simon's sort of psychology a bit in that episode with between him and
we learn
the cat.
We asked the question, what exactly is your damage, Simon?
And his damage is abandonment issues, apparently. Yeah. And it's also implied that like he's had like a family member die at some point.
Oh yeah.
And that's pretty sad for Simon. And things only get sadder for Simon, that's for sure.
That's for sure.
But basically, after Tuba's death, it is revealed that Hazel is, in fact, a turtle.
She's a
turtle. Or at least part turtle.
Well, yeah, a little bit later, but... yeah, she's, and she turns... Well, she transforms into, like, some kind of kappa turtle monster. Mm-hmm. Like, not quite a turtle, because it's got, like, a big old beak and, like, claws.
Well, turtles have beaks. Anyway, let's not get off track.
All right, let's not get off track. I mean,
track.
We'll discuss turtle law later as it applies to turtles.
But anyway, we have a nice episode where they sort of have a funeral for Tuba, and damn it,
this is just the like, why won't you? This is just the whole show slapping you in the face, saying like, why are you crying?
And even and even Grace has because like this connection that they formed between Hazel and Grace, it feels so genuine, and like it makes it really sad in a lot of ways. once you know what happens, it's like, God damn. This show really rips your heart out. It's not holding back.
This is the tearjerker season for sure.
I mean, yeah. And they
didn't have anything as sad as this.
I mean, in season 2, there was some pretty
I mean, it got pretty sad, but
like I'm trying to compare the two now, but like they're both pretty dang sad, I gotta say, in certain moments.
I feel like season 3 definitely had more of the sad moments.
Oh yeah, I mean yeah. Some more when characters die, it's like the worst thing you've ever seen, and not just like haha, get wrecked, metal man.
Yeah, it's like people die who didn't deserve to die.
In a lot of ways.
As opposed to like season 1 where just nobody died.
Yeah, nobody died in season 1.
Not even the one who did die. They just, the dog. Oh, yeah. They just brought him back.
The one pseudo death they had was recuperated before the end.
Which, is fine.
And not so with this one.
No, yeah, I don't think Tuba's coming back.
Tuba's not coming back. Oh no, poor Hazel. Right. But anyway, the funeral is the saddest thing I've ever seen. Actually, it's like the second saddest moment in this season for me. But god damn, it's still pretty sad. Moving right along, finally, the moment we've been waiting for.
Finally.
Amelia shows up. And for a split second, I thought, when she walked by, I thought, is that all we're going to see of Amelia? Like, there's no way they'd do that. And then I was like, okay, they didn't do that.
I was just like, they walked by, and I was like, wait.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Come back. Come back. And she does come back immediately.
Does thankfully come back.
She's like, what are you kids doing to the train car? What's wrong with you? And, we find, and this is where lots of things get elucidated. Turns out it wasn't a diabolical scheme by 1-1 to get these people to be better people. It was all just a coincidence that it happened to come together in which these characters cross paths.
Great.
Yeah. And it was like, well, when that happened, I was like, well, that throws my theory out the window. Right. Like, literally, she just says, 1-1 doesn't give a shit about you. You're literally just a number on a screen. You're just a number on a screen.
You're literally numbers, dude. Like, he's just ones and zeros.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea that even if he had, like, encountered Simon near the end, when his number became, like, ridiculously high, even then he would have been, oh, hello, Simon.
It's like, wow, that's a nice number.
That's a nice number you've got there. We should get work on that. He wouldn't even be like upset about it, because it's a number is still a number.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter how high it is.
He's just a passenger.
He just is all it needs to do is get some work. It's all gonna be fine, but it's not fine. But anyway, we finally meet Amelia again.
Pretty fine.
Simon does not turn out fine.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't have his number anymore.
It's true. But yeah, Amelia was pretty great, I gotta say.
Yeah, Amelia was awesome.
I didn't know this. I was like looking up voice actors after this because like I suddenly recognized at the very end when Simon was like laughing psychotically. I was like, hey, I know that psychotic laugh. That's 9S from Nier Automata, and it was. But
I haven't played that game.
Yeah, you probably have.
But cool.
But I was looking up voice actors, and I saw that Amelia is voiced by the person who plays Cersei Lannister.
Oh, really?
In Game of Thrones, which I haven't seen.
I have seen that.
So yeah, that's
quite good.
Yeah. That's interesting. I just thought you might find that interesting.
That is interesting.
Because I know you've seen that.
Now that you mention it, that is the same exact voice. Would you look at that? She's got the same voice. Huh. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, crazy.
That's crazy.
But anyway, she shows up. And immediately she's like putting these kids in their place.
Yeah, finally. She's like basically the audience insert at this point, just like slapping these kids around. Like, finally somebody can tell these
being
kids.
A stupid baby, please.
It's like, please, somebody who can see, who's not intimidated by Simon, who can just like tell him that he's an idiot.
And I like how she's got like her crazy shield belt now.
Oh yeah,
that's I guess 1-1 made for her or something.
I guess
it's pretty cool looking. I wish I had a shield belt.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess we're lucky she didn't have the shield belt in season 1.
Yeah, she just had a big robot.
Yeah, I mean, shield belt seems pretty much make you invincible.
Yeah,
honestly.
it's way more practical than a robot.
Like a really clunky robot suit.
Yeah, but that's why I'm figuring 1-1 made it for her.
Yeah.
Using something.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he just had some lying around. Maybe this is the thing that happens sometimes, and he just equips.
I mean, yeah, just randomly generated stuff. He's like, oh, this I see that on train car 102979. We've got.
I can use some of these belts here, and you'll be good to go.
They've invented the power of sound.
The power of sound. Man, I'm really interested in 1-1. I want to know if because it seems like the more I think about it, the more it's okay, Amelia always calls him 1. From the beginning, even in season 1, she's like, "Yo, this is he calls him 1," and everyone else calls him 1-1, which it implies to me that 1-1 was different before we met him, before Amelia happened. I think he might have been he didn't have the whole split personality thing going on.
Yeah,
he was just one. He was just one character, and maybe Amelia literally split him in half, and that turned him into 1-1 essentially. That's my working theory at the moment. Is that Amelia literally cut him in half somehow, and that
it seems plausible.
Yeah, because she always calls him 1, but and we see in season 1 that one episode where he sort of essentially becomes a weird. He goes a little crazy. Yeah. and we hear a different sound from him, and he's like, "Oh, this is not good at all. This is no good at all." And it sort of sounds like both his voices together, I guess. And so I got this theory now that 1-1 used to be just 1. He wasn't the sort of half sort of silly, depressing, half silly, upbeat. He was just sort of he was much more robot-like.
Yeah, he's just a robot.
In the past. Much more machine-like.
That makes sense. Huh, I like that theory.
Yeah. And if we had a season 4, we might get into that.
Perhaps, yes.
But we probably won't.
Yeah, or maybe not. But we'll see.
We'll see. Let's not lose hope just yet. But anyway, we meet Amelia.
And Amelia is just alright, so it turns out that this little girl right here, she's actually the one causing all the problems.
Yeah.
And it's actually interesting because when you first hear her say what are you kids doing to the train cars, you assume she's talking about trashing them and burning them and stuff, but actually she doesn't even care about that.
She doesn't give a crap.
She's just okay, well, I don't have time for this. I gotta figure out why the train is ejecting cars at light speed.
Yeah, it's just ejecting them at random for no reason, it seems like this, because apparently she's been sent out to get rid of all the train cards that she made, because 1-1 does not like those.
Yeah, he doesn't like them.
For a lot of reasons. But yeah. But part of that is, apparently, she has this thing she calls the pulse, which is just going through and scanning trains and ejecting them if they have contaminated code. Yeah. And what's interesting is you actually see this pulse, more obviously later, when Amelia is leaving, you see a green line sort of shoot down the train. But if you go back into the earlier episodes, in the first episode when the turtle car gets launched, and when the color car gets launched, you see that green line pass through the train car a second before things start to shift and move. And that's really amazing, honestly. That's so cool. I never would have noticed that if it wasn't for Reddit. But that's really cool.
Nice.
I like that. But yeah, basically the kid, the Simon, Grace, and Hazel we're getting out of here, and she's like, "Ugh, I hate children." And I really feel that. Yeah. She really sells that she hates children. Yeah. I agree. I also hate children now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
She convinced me.
She convinced me. They're all worthless. But anyway, long story short, everyone finds out about Hazel being a turtle. Amelia's okay, so this is the problem. It's why is it always turtles?
Yeah.
It's
always turtles. And the explanation is that she's like a failed clone that Amelia actually tried to make.
It seems like, yeah.
Yeah, and then like I don't know how she failed that bad that she made she was trying to clone her boyfriend, but it turned out a girl and also a turtle. So you kind of messed up a little bit there, Amelia.
You know what I mean? Well, obviously we see that Amelia was not very good at this.
No, yeah, she was not adept.
She was very adept at taking over the train, not very adept at running it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. What did she say? It's like, why is it? It's all turtles, of course. It was just a handkerchief. And I was like, what the heck is she talking about? You go back to the earlier seasons, and like you see like little scenes basically in like her flashback where she has like a handkerchief with turtles on it, and think like that little handkerchief is the source of all the turtles that like keep on popping up in her like psychosis, I guess. And that's like, wow, this lady has some problems. Yeah, she has some serious problems. But this is where, in my eyes, Tuba, not even that sad. This is where tragedy truly strikes.
Nah.
Is the separation of Grace and Hazel is the saddest moment in anime history.
Yeah. Top 10 anime betrayals.
So sad. This messed me up, man. This messed me up. I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't deal with the fact that they're like, okay, Hazel's like, I'm not going with you anymore. And like, it makes perfect sense. Because Grace's affection for Hazel is totally genuine at this point.
Right.
But she has still like been manipulating her basically this whole time. And then when it is revealed, she pretends she didn't know, and she just tells her, "Oh no, screw you, you're a null." And Grace was like Hazel's last living figure that she was like a mother figure to her. And she just betrayed her just like that. And that was like the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's like, man, it would have been even sadder if it wasn't for the fact that I've been thinking that Hazel needs to get away from these people like the whole time.
It's true.
At some point, I was like, just like, please get this innocent child away from these monsters, Amelia. Please call the CPS.
She is the CPS.
Yep, she is the CPS. The CPS were called.
Oh no, but
Tuba on her way down.
But it's terrible, man. It's so... And, like, you see, like, Hazel's just like, Amelia, let me go with you. And, like, even though Amelia has shown literally zero affection toward her. Like, even, like, when she was like, it's okay. It's like, hugs her. It's like, we're all here for you. She's like, yeah, whatever. Get off me, stupid kid. And that, like... And you can understand that, okay, this is actually a pro in Hazel's mind. Because at least she knows that Amelia isn't trying to hurt her.
Exactly.
At least she knows it's not fake.
Yeah, it's like at least for this, she's being honest.
At least she knows that Amelia is being honest. She doesn't know that anyone else is being honest to her.
Yeah,
and she feels betrayed, and she was betrayed. She was.
She was betrayed multiple times.
Multiple times by multiple people. Well, actually not. Just the same two people over and over again. And
to various degrees.
Hazel needed to get out of there. But at the same time, as they're leaving, it's the worst moment in the show. Like, I don't care that's what happened to Simon. This wrecked me. I was like, no, this is so sad.
It's pretty sad.
Oh, man. It's messed up. It's messed up.
Yeah, they have no mercy this season.
No mercy. And I guess after the Randal Frank season, we might get a season about Hazel and Amelia.
Yeah,
No. But only after the Randal and Frank season.
Yeah, obviously.
That needs to come first. But anyway.
After that happens.
After that tragedy unfolds. Meanwhile, this whole time, Simon has been growing, like, somehow becoming even more insecure. We didn't think it was possible, but he was. He's freaking out that Grace is sort of growing slightly distant from him emotionally, and he can't handle that even a little bit.
Nope. Yeah, he's very perturbed by the fact that Grace is noticing that he's just a massive asshole.
And weird psychopath.
Yep.
But he goes back to the cat, whose name is Samantha, I guess.
Yeah, he just speed runs his way to the cat, I guess. Like, I don't know how many cars it's been since the cat, but man, he just
I mean, if you can go over him, then
yeah, he just went over him.
That helps, I guess, because who knows how big the inside of the car is.
Yeah, I wonder when you think about it, you have to come from the cars from either side, right?
Right.
Because you don't know which way the passenger is going. But what if you had one guy run over and open the door on the other side? So then you just walk through.
Well, it's not very easy to get on top of the train.
True, but
I guess if they found a grapple pack, they could just go wherever they wanted.
You just get a ladder.
True.
Granted, I don't know how many people want to get on top of such a big train.
Yeah,
but
and also that'd be a really big ladder.
I mean, they've apparently got time to invent grapple packs.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. There's so many things on the train. I guess at some point they found a bunch of grapple packs somewhere.
I'm sure a big ladder is somewhere.
And they found ladders. The ladder car.
Yeah, we've probably seen a big enough ladder in one of the cars, just like in the background. Yeah. Just like a wacky big ladder.
But who cares?
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Anyway, Simon goes back to the cat, and the cat, I guess, against her better judgment, gives Simon some tools.
Gives him some of the little bugs.
Give him some of those little tiny...
brain bugs.
The little brain ones. That are tiny and creepy and weird. And it's like, well, I guess you can use this on her, but it wouldn't be a very good idea. And he's like, thank you.
Yeah, cat really dropping the ball right here. I think like you didn't have to do that.
Yeah, and it would have. It definitely would have turned out better for Simon if she hadn't.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Cat kind of killing Simon, which is
in a way.
Indirectly, but good work there, I guess. But
she's definitely feels bad for what she did to Simon, and it was kind of messed up, it seems like, in a way.
It was kind of messed up, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty bummer for Simon, I guess.
It's a bummer.
Getting abandoned and just... Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, they were running away, I guess.
Yeah, but the cat, trying to make up for it, literally murders Simon. But anyway, he gives him the little memory stuff in order to create a tape and also view it, which is interesting.
Yeah, but he uses the brain bugs on Grace.
And finds out that she's been keeping the turtles a secret.
Whoa.
And this is very sad for him. Even though he should know why.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what?
You would have killed her.
You would have just murdered her.
You would have just murdered her.
Yeah, it's like,
But then,
But he's like, yeah, I wanted to murder her. So what?
So what? We finally, after this horrible tragedy occurs, Simon reveals his hand and traps Grace in her own memories, which we've seen before.
Yes.
In the case of Tulip. And in that case, it was pretty messed up. But in this case, it goes even further.
Yeah.
And we see, we finally get a little backstory for Grace. That she was a very unlooked after child.
Yep.
And that's very sad for her. Boo-hoo.
Yeah, very sad. Her parents never came to her ballet recitals.
Yep. Yeah.
So she decided to rob a bank or something.
And we get to see all sort of aspects of that, where she's like, we see her be like a sort of manipulative little child, and it's interesting. We see her look at herself, her past self, and go like, oh,
it's like, oh, I see.
I can't believe I did that. And yeah, but then Simon's there to sort of trap her there in her memories, and this is interesting because. We've seen this before with Tulip, but with Tulip, like, when the cat shows her tape, I remember because I rewatched it recently. Specifically, the way it happens is they sit down, it starts a tape, and, like, I remember Atticus starts to say something like, I'm not sure this is a good, but then she gets sucked into the tape. But then, once she, like, gets out of the tape, Atticus, like, finishes his sentence as if no time had passed. Like, this seems like a bad idea. And then, like,
really?
Yeah. Which, for, like, basically on any other show, I would assume they forgot. I would assume that they forgot how this worked, how they established this to work in season 1. And they made it so time could pass while you're in your tape. But I think they're smarter than that. I think what they imply back there is that time passes differently while you're in your tape. Yeah, because... And that things can happen if you're in there long enough.
Right. Yeah, because it's like, they did mention in the first season that it's, like, dangerous.
Yeah, you can get trapped in there.
But, so, like, if you can get trapped in there, I guess they're, like, implying that time will pass eventually.
Yeah, that's the idea. But it also implies that if you get out of the tape, then it's as if no time had passed.
Right.
But...
Maybe that's only how it works when it's working correctly?
Or maybe that's... Or what my assumption is, after seeing this, is that time does pass. It just passes very slowly.
Yeah.
So to the point where all the time Tulip spent in her tape essentially amounted to no time in the real world. Which implies that Grace spent a very, very, very long time from her perspective trapped in the tape.
Right, yeah.
Which is kind of nightmarish.
Yeah. It's probably bad. She probably, like, lived, like, her whole life.
Jesus Christ. Which... I guess that lines up with a lot of other things, how she acts once she gets out of it.
Yeah.
She's basically like a different person.
Yeah. She's like, oh God.
But yeah, this is some horror going on with this part. Where
and I was kind of wondering whether or not it was just gonna, like, leave her there, because I was like, I wonder if they want to go that dark. Like,
it's just like, they killed Tuba, Hazel's gone. They just leave Grace there, lying on the floor.
Yeah, so I was just gonna assume that, like, I don't know, maybe, like, Amelia will, like, come back or something.
That's what I was hoping. I was hoping, maybe Hazel will come back and save her. Doesn't happen.
Nope.
They're
gone.
Hazel's gone. It's very sad.
But what actually happens is the projector falls over or something?
No, she gets out.
Oh, she just gets out.
Yeah.
Alright.
She just deals with it eventually and escapes after, like I said, what I'm imagining was a very, very, very long time trapped in her memories. Long enough for time to pass in the real world and Simon to get back to the Apex and do stuff. All that time.
Yeah, apparently it wasn't long enough. Too long. But
I mean, yeah, it wasn't too long in
real time.
In real time, but if we take what happened with Tulip to be like not them forgetting how it works, then she must have spent like an unimaginable amount of time trapped in her tape. Theoretically. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they'll do another AMA on Reddit and I can ask about that.
Yeah.
Because I'm curious. But anyway, I love the music at the start of episode 10 when she's like lying on the floor. I don't know if you remember it. But, like, they have like this song playing as like it starts up and it goes into her memories, and they need to release a soundtrack for seasons 2 and 3. Yeah. They have one for 1, but not 2 and 3. It's good music for this show. Moving on. Hayes, after sort of dealing with her problems, like being confronted by like a memory of Hazel telling her everything she did wrong.
Yeah. She's confronted by the ghost of Hazel's past, present, and future.
And like, she finally admits that she genuinely cared for Hazel, but she admits that she was treating her very badly.
Yeah.
And that it was a good thing that they were separated when they were. And basically getting past that and acknowledging her faults not only helps her get her number down, but helps her get out of the tape.
Yeah.
In which she immediately is like, she is literally like such a different person when she gets out that she's like, oh no, these birds, I have to rescue them. And that's what makes me think she's been in there for a long time, because I don't think if she had only been in there from like a few hours from her perspective, she would have changed that much. But the fact that she's just like, we need to like fix these paper bird people because they're people too, makes me think that she's been in there a very long time. And she does, and you know, didn't
she like step around the paper birds?
Yeah. Before when Simon's with her, like she steps around them carefully to like, because she's like grieving over this loss of Hazel. It's so sad. And that's when Simon's just being a dick.
Yeah, I'm just like
literally
just, like,
just
with his usual tact and decorum.
Yeah. And when we return, and when Grace makes it back to the mall car, and we see Simon in his like sort of transformation. He's got like a cape and a throne made out of snowboards.
Yeah, he just immediately went like all Napoleon on everybody.
He went insane. And it's pretty funny, honestly. And he's obviously had time to sort of re-indoctrinate all these children into his new little cult.
Yeah, or at least, at least somewhat. They don't seem to recall all their lines quite yet, but they've got a few new words.
Yeah, a few new words, a few new buzzwords to use.
Exactly.
But anyway, this all comes down to a confrontation between Grace and Simon. Grace, who over the course of this season has slowly been getting better, and Simon, who has slowly been getting worse, until he literally just goes completely insane.
He just goes maniac.
He just
on
breaks emotionally and basically murders Hazel. Well, in his not Hazel. Dang, I keep mixing up Grace and Hazel for some reason. Yeah. Murders Grace. She comes back because birds.
Yeah, so, she got birded. So, thankfully, those birds followed her, I guess.
Yeah, but that's just like, her act of kindness coming back and Simon's lack of kindness coming back to bite him.
I would have appreciated a little bit more if the act of kindness hadn't happened, like, literally 15 seconds ago.
I mean, yeah.
I would have liked if somehow it had been, I don't know, some other act of kindness she had done over the course of the series.
This is why I think maybe this season could have used, like, more episodes.
Yeah,
could have used, like, an extra episode, maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably just one extra episode would do.
Yeah, maybe just one.
I don't know. But, it would have, but maybe, like, an episode of her, like, moving back to the mall car, and, like, the birds are with her, maybe. And then that establishes that a bit better. I don't know. That would be my idea, but that might be a bit too much, like...
Yeah, the paper bird thing is just kind of looks kind of silly when I looked at it when it happened.
It does look a little silly.
It seems like kind of like a weird sort of cheap fake out, like that she like gets kicked off the edge and then like literal paper birds are like somehow holding her and like bringing her up. It's just like okay.
I don't know.
I was like, I get that you need to do like the dramatic thing, I guess, but there's other ways to do like dramatic fake outs other than like.
But yeah, really I think it was important for Simon to like make that choice and and go over the edge, though.
Yeah, I just think it could have been. I don't know. What especially bothered me was the fact that the foreshadowed like good thing that she did literally happened like earlier that episode.
True, I can see that, but I think it worked for me, just because I feel like. It's just...
Yeah, man, what if we had another episode in between when she woke up and when she found the apex? That would have been awesome.
That would have...
Because it would have emphasized, like, the amount... Especially, like... It would have especially emphasized the amount of, like, time she had been in there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well...
Oh well.
Only had 10 episodes.
Oh well.
That's how it is.
Rip.
But I think it worked out. It still worked pretty well.
Yeah, it still worked pretty well.
Simon going, like I said, he has his maniacal laughter as he's, like, crying about what he's done, but also just laughing
And
at what he's
also,
become.
lightning striking by him.
With the dramatic lightning strikes. And he is eaten by a roach monster.
Yep. And he gets absolutely destroyed.
Yep.
Even worse than Tuba does.
Yeah.
He just gets disintegrated.
He just gets turned to dust. And it's like, oh my god.
Yeah. I was always wondering what happened when you got caught by one of those.
Now we know.
You don't just get turned into a roach.
And that's pretty much where the season ends.
Yeah.
Like, Grace is like, okay, I need to
It's like, oh boy, here we go.
I need to treat these children like human beings, and I need to make up for everything I've done. And she's repenting, and that's good. And that's where it ends. Nobody gets off the train this time. Nobody is happy.
Nope.
Grace is a little bit like, oh well, I can do. She's basically taken the Amelia path and is trying to undo her sins.
Yeah, pretty much.
Try to make things better for everyone.
If only Hazel was around, she could be happy at least when she saw Simon die.
Man, this season just leaves so much to I want to know what happens next.
Yeah.
I want to know what happens to Hazel. I want to know what happens to Randal. But now that's it. It very much like this podcast, it ends very abruptly. That'd be funny to end it.
That
there.
would be funny.
But we're not going to. I think we have more to talk about.
Yeah, I think we still got more stuff to talk about. But
Simon's an interesting character, wouldn't you say?
yeah, it's pretty interesting.
But here's the question: did he deserve to die?
He was a murderer, basically. He
Yeah.
failed at murdering, but he wanted to.
Yeah, he did.
And, he didn't fail the first time, actually.
But it's just the funny thing online is there's sort of an argument between whether he deserved to die or not.
Really?
And
He's
it's
literally a murderer, though.
But he's also a teenager.
I don't know, dude. He's
And,
but there's look, pal, they're on a train. There's no police to call, all right? If this was off the train, you could call the police, get him arrested, give him a fair trial, all right? But he's literally, a danger to you and everybody you know, okay? It's you or him.
But, yeah. But, the real question is, basically, people are they didn't like that they turned him into, an unredeemable villain at the end. But I don't think he was unredeemable, necessarily. He was a monster and a horrible person. And, we saw, every single moment where he could have, gone back and not done something horrible. We see, the moment where he stops, thinks about it, and then does the horrible thing.
Yeah.
And takes the worst possible choice.
Exactly.
So he makes his own choices, and that's...
Yeah, I don't... It's turns him into nothing he does seems out of character.
He never jumps into he's just... The writers just needed him to be insane now.
Yeah, it's
it feels like a very natural progression for him.
Yeah, it's did you not see the part where where he entered Grace's brain and left her in the dust?
Yeah.
Or when he threw Tuba off a bridge, or the fact that he has no empathy at all towards Hazel, in the slightest, even when he thinks that she's human.
Yeah.
He's actually a sociopath. He doesn't have any empathy.
He goes down a dark path. That's for sure. Yeah, but
Grace, on the other hand, is just misguided.
Yeah, the opposite, basically. Yeah, but Grace is just literally the opposite of Simon in that she's gets better over the course of the show as Simon slowly gets worse and worse. Because as Grace gets better, he feels more left behind, and thus sending him into the
especially
psycho
since,
zone.
Yeah, especially since her getting better is as a function of her number going down. It's basically a betrayal to him.
Yeah. It's betrayal, and also as she gets better, she realizes slowly how bad Simon is.
Exactly. She becomes less accepting of, what they've always been doing.
Yeah. And Simon just won't let go of that.
Yeah.
Even no matter no matter what.
He's already decided.
He's already decided.
As Amelia.
And, you know, like Amelia says, oh, you've never... have you ever once considered that you might be wrong? It's like, of course not. You're a child. I hate children. Yeah, that's... I think though, even at the end, when he's, like, gone full... He's got numbers all over his face. Yep. Even then, like... He still has a number. It's not like the number suddenly like, oh, it changed to infinity and now he's gone off the way.
Now he is the infinity train.
It never changes to infinity. Nope. It never becomes unsolvable into the train. What if it went
so high that it looped back to 0 and then he got off the train?
You can either get off the train a fixed person or a complete sociopath.
Or you have to murder 5 of your fellow passengers.
And there's a lot of speculation. Like, was the roach monster like? Is the roach monster like a function of the train to get rid of people like Simon, or was it just a roach monster that murdered him?
I mean, roach monsters they've attacked people with low numbers before.
True.
And they didn't really seem to be targeting Amelia so much, even though she has a very high number.
True. She does have a force field, though.
She does have a force field, but I mean, it's not like the roach monsters know that.
Maybe.
What are they like? Or what are they like? Spread the word, like put it in the newspaper, like.
But this is the thing, though, because like the only other time we see the roach monsters is when like someone leaves the train.
That's true. Well, they're also just like out there in the wastes.
Yeah, that's off the train.
Well,
Yeah, when someone tries to leave the train, that's when the roach monsters show up.
Right. Well, basically. Then also in the first season, they were in the car, weren't they?
That was just because Atticus got turned into one.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Really? Yeah. Didn't we see them before that?
Like we see them in the first. Well,
don't they like jump, like on you, like in between the train stuff?
I don't think so.
Am I imagining that?
That never happened in any of the other seasons.
Huh.
Only in the first season, Tuba left the train at the beginning and got attacked by them as she was trying to get away.
Yeah, that's true.
And then she had to run back to the train. And then you have Atticus, who was turned into one. But basically, and the only other time in season 2 was when MT is leaving the train. Then they show up. Huh. And this is the only time that they've sort of just showed up on the train, essentially. They've like come to the train. So people are theorizing that they came to get rid of Simon.
Oh, that's when I remember. What about in Simon's flashback when they're chasing him?
Oh yeah, that's true.
What were they doing there?
You know what? That's true. That isn't consistent with the theory.
Yep.
So
Debunked. Absolutely destroyed with facts and logic.
But it is still weird that like the roach literally explodes once it's done.
Yeah, that is kind of cool.
Eating Simon.
He's just like, it is a little bit suspicious, but
which
maybe
implies
that when it eats people.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It implies that its job is done and then it explodes. Yeah, so that's what it implies. But is that what it means?
That's what it implies. But it could also just be that when they eat a person, they're released from their fucking blood contract or whatever, and they can finally rest in peace.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the show has so little time, and it doesn't like explain everything, but it doesn't need to. Like everything that maybe if there are future episodes, we might find out what the deal is with the roach monsters. Like, do they have a purpose? Are they just monsters? Did they do anything other than eat people?
Why were they chasing Simon?
Yeah, maybe they just knew.
I mean,
they just knew Simon was a sociopath.
Yeah, they just sensed it early. Actually, that's why he hung out with the cat so much.
They're both evil.
Because they're both evil.
That's pretty funny. No, Simon wasn't evil back then. He was just a stupid kid.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he was always evil. Who knows?
He didn't seem that evil in the flashback. But anyway.
We only saw for 10 seconds.
But anyway, like I was saying, the show is so interesting. I want to know everything about the train, about the world of the train, I want to know. I want there to be like an episode, like a season that takes place like partially back on Earth, where they have like a trained survivors
like
counseling group, because they need counseling for the stuff that happened on the counseling train.
Yep.
And
they need to, or else they'll end up back on the train.
Yeah, that'd be a great. They end up back on the train to deal with the problems that they got on the train. It's like, oh no, what does that number look like?
It's just on your other hand and it's red.
This number you do want to go up. You're not supposed to like the train.
You gotta get your number to 10 million.
But yeah, it's just, I'm imagining. It's an interesting idea. Because it's good. It's so good, this show. It's ridiculous. It doesn't deserve to be as good as it is. It's like the best American cartoon at the moment that I can think of.
Yeah, probably.
People keep saying the Owl House is good. It's probably not as good as this. Let's be real.
Not.
Let's be real.
I mean, come on. It's called the Owl House. Like, come on.
And it's a Disney Channel show.
Yikes.
Yeah. It's not a good sign, generally. I mean, they have some good ones.
No, they don't.
Gravity Falls.
Alright, fine. They have one good
Wander Over Yonder. But yeah, this show, it's, go watch it. Go get HBO Max. Start a free trial now. We're advertising for them. Because I need more seasons of this show to happen. Go buy a t-shirt, buy the soundtrack, buy, the studio so you can have them make more. If you're like a millionaire listening to this or something, do that.
Find their office and throw dollar bills to their window.
Yeah, this is very similar to the you know something funny. We did that Bee and Puppy Cat podcast.
Yeah,
I still haven't released it.
Nice.
Because I'm waiting for them to officially release season 2. I'm like, I figured, okay.
Oh, they still haven't done that?
No, I was like, okay. Like in a week or two, they'll put it out. Yeah. It'll be like on Verve or something. It'll be like it'll come out officially and people can buy it, and then I'll put out the podcast. But they still haven't put it out officially. It does. Listeners, if you would like to listen to a Bee and Puppy Cat season 2 podcast, say so in the comments and I'll give it to you. But if not, I still I want to wait until like you can actually watch the show without pirating it. Because I feel bad. I want more of that show, which means I want to support it. But I can't. I can't support it.
Leaked or something?
That's what happened, yeah. It got leaked online. Which I figured, okay, now they're going to release it. Because it's been leaked, and everyone's seen it already. So they pretty much have to.
Did they, already have a date for it?
No. That's the thing. There was no date.
So it's all done.
It's all out. It's all done.
I'm just waiting for the Christmas season or something?
I'm getting straight up conspiracy theorist here. I think that it's been done for, years. And they've just been holding on to it. And finally, maybe, the show creator got fed up and just leaked the whole thing online. That's my current running theory, because this is ridiculous.
Kind of weird.
If I'm on the Reddit, I'm on the email list. Maybe I'll check the creator's Twitter and see if they, said something about it. But as far as I know, we have zero information on Season 2 being officially released.
Here's my theory, alright? So it got leaked, and they're like, oh no, everybody's seen it already. Let's just wait a little while for everybody to forget about it. And then we'll just release it again and pretend it's brand new.
Next year they'll be like, hey, new show, Bee and Puppy Cat Season 2.
Brand new Bee and Puppy Cat episodes. Never before seen by human eyes. Not even while we were making it. We made this blindfolded, so you'll be the first eyes to see it.
That's so weird. I don't know what the heck's going on with that.
Yeah, it wasn't okay. So this second season, where did that come from? That wasn't that
wasn't Kickstarted.
That wasn't Kickstarted. They had a studio behind it, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, maybe not a studio.
Maybe. Well, I don't know.
Same team. The same team as season 1.
Well, yeah, not.
They had a budget.
I meant they had a sponsor or something.
Yeah.
Like a studio to work at.
Yeah.
Somebody bought them office space.
And they thought a place to distribute it, but apparently not.
Yeah, apparently they forgot about the whole they gotta have a place to put it part.
Yeah.
Maybe they just maybe a deal with Netflix or whatever, or Vive or whatever they were gonna sell it to.
I swear, literally 2 years ago, maybe not that long, but a while ago, they put the entire Bee and Puppycat season 1 on YouTube to watch for free, just to promote season 2, which was supposed to be coming out soon.
Huh.
Then a year passes, and it gets leaked, and then more time passes, and still nothing.
Yeah, maybe it got leaked and they just don't know. Maybe nobody's told them yet.
They just haven't figured it out.
Yeah, and they're still trying to decide on when they're going to release this thing.
Yeah, they have the whole show, just put it out. It's
just laying around.
I don't understand what's happening. If one of our 8 listeners... If you know anything about Bee and Puppycat season 2,
Bee and Puppycat staff member or something,
give us the download. I want to know why this.
Yeah, you can email. So if you don't want everybody to know, but
and let us know
it's top secret.
And if it's not going to be out for another 4 years, then I'll just release the podcast now. And anyone who is interested in that podcast, just say so.
Anybody who's interested in that podcast has definitely seen Bee and Puppycat by now.
So just say so, and I'll put it out. But if no one's interested, I'll just wait until it comes out.
Yeah, might as well.
Even though it might never come out, apparently. So it might be the podcast that never gets seen.
We'll have to.
If a podcast falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, does it even exist?
Wow. Deep wisdom. Coming at the end of this Infinity Train.
Oh, yeah,
podcast.
I forgot. Infinity Train. Infinity Train is a good show.
Yeah, that's why we're talking about Bee and Puppycat for the last half hour.
Yeah, because we need season 4 about Randal and Frank and their adventures. I need it. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, that's pretty much
Pretty
it.
sure. I think we've covered everything.
I think we went through it all, basically.
This is a long podcast.
Yeah, well, it's a good season, so.
It was a damn good season. Damn good.
Well, thanks for watching the Train Cast.
Thanks for listening to the Trainfinity.
This one happened to be infinity minutes long, but hopefully it's
infinity minutes long and a lot of talk about
we talked about Bee and Puppycat for a little while, but
one last thing. Should I watch The Owl House? I've heard good things. Tell me if I should watch it, internet. I don't care. Just tell me. Does it get good?
I'll let you watch it, and
I know you're not gonna watch.
Yeah, I'm not watching Owl House. Probably. Sorry, Owl House.
I keep on hearing good things about it, but also it doesn't look super interesting on the face of it.
Yeah, it doesn't look especially fascinating.
But yeah,
from the one image that I've seen of it.
Anyway,
it at least the art style doesn't immediately repulse me. I can say that at least.
Yeah. Anyway.
As I was saying, this train is coming into the station.
Yeah, you're right. It's not leaving. It's coming into the station.
We already left. We're at our destination.
Everybody get off.
This train is not infinite, unfortunately.
Everybody get off. We're dismounting.
We're out of gas, boys.
We're out of steam. We're out of coal. We can't move any farther. You're just gonna have to go survive the wasteland.
I wish there was a station here. We're actually just in the wilderness. We're actually in the middle of the Mojave Desert.
We're actually in the middle of a roach-filled, horrifying, evil wasteland. Good luck. We wish you the best. And goodbye.
And bye.
Thanks for listening.
Adios. This is our train.